First ep of the month. Get those hands out.
And grope your fine self.
Grope yourself. Feel your buzzies. Feel them up for all 4 quadrants, from the nipple to the underarm.
It's boob check o'clock, guys. Start of the month. Let's be responsible for our own healthcare and well-being.
Yes, go on. Off you go. Off you trot.
Now that that's done, should we get into the episode?
Yes.
We have 1,000 things to do, but we'd rather chat to you. With emails and meetings and husbands and kids, we don't have time for this. Just what you need, 2 basic bitches with a podcast.
Hello and welcome to We Don't Have Time for This. I'm your host, Gemma Pranita, aka Gemma Peanut on the gram, along with my co-host,
Kate Revz. Hi, DLs.
Hello!
Oh my gosh, we
Yeah.
are so excited about the live show. And
You guys showed up.
oh my
And
goodness.
your excitement is fueling our excitement.
Yes, we are so pumped for everyone who got tickets. Yeah, it is motivating us and driving us to just put on the best show ever,
100p.
because you are so excited and enthusiastic about this, and we can honestly say you should be. You know, you should be excited.
Oh, I don't want to keep teasing. However,
However, you're gonna.
strap yourselves in. It's quite a ride.
Oh, yeah.
And we have been more ambitious than ever. Revz is tired to a fault.
I'm drinking my giant skim flat wine tumbler full of coffee. If you're on YouTube, you can see.
How many shots are you a day now?
I don't know. I've lost count. No, I think I'm 4 shots. This office coffee is drip coffee. I don't think you can, it's not shots, you know, it's just that constant stream to the bloodstream of caffeine.
Yeah, just need an IV, don't you?
Yeah, just plug me up. There's a lot to do. I'll tell you what, independently producing a tour is no joke.
I did have a moment this week where I was like, I had the Radiohead song playing over and over in my head, which felt relevant for us, which is, you do it to yourself.
100%.
You do. That's why it really hurts. You do it to yourself.
Yeah, no one asks us to do
no
it.
one asks us.
No one tells us to. We just do it this way.
Yeah, we do.
It's all worth it. The second we open
Hit the stage.
Well, no, the second we open doors
Yeah.
at the theatre on opening night, it's all worth it. It's just, quite the runway to get there. But anyway, you guys are fueling us with your enthusiasm. We're pumped. We're excited. We don't have time for this.com. Go look at the merch. Look at what seats are left. You know, look at the show that's right for you. It's all there. Join in.
Revzy, the DLs want to know, and I also want to know, do we have a curse update?
Do we ever?
Hit me.
Now, last Wednesday, out of nowhere, apropos of nothing, I woke up and I said, the curse has lifted.
The fog
It lifted.
dissipated.
I felt it, Gem. And it did. Like, it just lifted that day. And then all these things started happening and I was
falling into
like,
place.
falling into place. Problems went away. Things solved themselves. Good things happened. And I was like, I was right. The curse really, truly did lift Wednesday overnight.
I felt it by proxy, and obviously I get to see you on the reg because we work together.
By on the reg, she means every single day.
DLs are smart, babe. They understand and abbreviate when they hear one.
Oh my God.
Let's see if they get that one. But coming into the office, you are lighter and brighter.
Yep.
It's fair to say that the curse was bleeding into work stuff.
Everything.
There were a lot of things in the office where we were like, God, we really need to sort Revz's curse out because this is impacting all of us.
The business.
We won't tell her that because it's impacting her
Mate,
first and foremost. But
I
for
was
us, we
aware.
were
You
like,
didn't need to tell me.
what's going on?
Oh.
What's going on? This hurts. But yes, things are falling into place and it's
Yes.
exciting.
It's exciting. Curse adjacent. I've discovered the source of the fruit flies.
I'm going to sit here smug for a second. Because I told you it was food related
Yeah, I
from the
know.
start. Revz tried to steer me away from this theory and tried
Sorry.
to...
I tried to steer you away from this theory that a mechanic left a banana peel in the bonnet.
Revz,
That's a cuckoo theory.
that is more legitimate than it's the plague.
Pestilence.
It's pestilence.
Plague and pestilence.
Locusts have befallen me in my car.
Yep.
Like, I was just like, no, there is logic
Yeah.
behind this. You don't get fruit flies unless there's food somewhere.
Well, anyway, I found it.
Yeah, she found it.
I
It's
have
disgusting.
I have a 7-seater car, and
I thought you were going to say I have a 7-year-old.
I've got an 8-year-old. We have a 7-seater car, and we had all the kids this weekend, and I popped up the back 2 seats to make it 7 seats.
And hey, presto.
And I was like, what's that? Oh my God. And I was simultaneously disgusted and so excited
And relieved.
to have found the source of the plague. So rolled the seats forward, and I pulled out, for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, I pulled out a mummified sushi roll. Now, a sushi hand roll that was once upon a time, wait for it, salmon and avocado. So we're talking raw salmon, nori,
Sorry.
avocado. Anyway, it was in the plastic sleeve. You know how the hand rolls are in a plastic sleeve? It was riddled with eggs. Fruit fly eggs.
At this point, I just want to apologize to anyone who listens to us while they're consuming their breakfast.
Oh, stop for a sec because it's going to get worse. The
Oh, they've
plastic,
stopped, babe.
The plastic itself was sweaty.
Yeah, it's
So
an
it was like
incubator.
incubating like a greenhouse vibe of millions of eggs. I don't think I've ever seen fruit fly eggs before.
A little petri dish.
It was fucking
situation.
disgusting.
Rank.
And all I think Teddy was about to throw. He was like, and I was like, well, it's your fucking sushi roll, bro.
Mate.
You know, well, I'm trying to do car dinners and these gymnastics schleps.
Oh,
you know,
babe, I hear you.
and then it just rolls under the fucking
And
plague.
also, something I've noticed now that Raf's in year 1 as opposed to kindy, the older they get, the later they are, because obviously they prioritize kids' afternoon activities based on ages, which makes perfect sense. I would do the same if I started an extracurricular business. But what it means for us,
Thank God we know that.
they're not finishing till like 7 p.m.
Yeah, Ted doesn't finish gymnastics till 7:15 on a Thursday.
And it's like a 20-minute drive home,
oh, at least more like half an hour.
I reckon.
Yeah, and so I try and give them dinner in the car. I won't be doing that anymore because we can't risk.
Famous last words.
No, we can't risk it. No way.
Now that Ted has seen the larvae planet of the fruit flies,
Ugh.
he might take a little more responsibility with the placement of his food.
Have you met an 8-year-old boy?
No.
Take responsibility is not in their vocabulary.
It's the fact that he neglected an entire sushi roll. It wasn't like half eaten. It was.
I know.
It's like he ate one and went, "Where's the other one?" Whatevs.
Oh, 100%, which is just being a kid, right? You go, oh, where'd that? I never think about that ever again. And he wouldn't have connected that to the fruit flies or anything. But and I would have gone, wow, how good. He ate 2 sushi rolls for dinner. So good.
Totally.
He got his omega-3s.
Yeah, no.
Got his good
Nope.
fats. No, he didn't.
Did
the
not.
fruit flies did. He probably just ate the teriyaki chicken and was like, sugar chicken.
I'm now just irked out by the idea of poor producer Kate sitting in the back of your car for 3 hours,
On the way home from Riders Retreat.
driving to and from the Riders Retreat.
On top of raw salmon.
Yes, and she and I were batting away the fruit
It
flies.
was fucked.
Little did she know, it was all under her ass. You know? If
Well,
she-
technically it wasn't. It was in the boot.
okay, under the
Back
the 2 seats of the 7-seater
Yeah,
car. Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So,
I-
but I hear you. It's not cool. You were on a car dinner burial ground.
We were.
And
disgusting.
the hex was affecting all of us.
yeah, and at that point it was peaking.
But we couldn't take either of your cars because they're all full of car seats. So, you know,
true.
you'll take what you can get.
And we were not upset, but now we are
I would
upset.
have been. I would have been like, what the fuck?
No, retrospectively, we are very upset that we were hanging out with with old salmon.
You know what was so surprising was it didn't smell.
No, it didn't, and I can corroborate this
if we'd
story.
smelled fish, we would have gone hunting. But the fact that there was no smell.
No odor whatsoever.
Yeah,
which
just
is
the flies.
very surprising with raw fish.
Do you think that's because they ate it all?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, is that what fruit flies do?
Or
Do they
they-
feast on the food? Because all the rice was pretty much still there. Just no
gross.
avo, no salmon. Or there was something mummified in the center, but it really just looked like larvae cave.
I think it's shrouded in an egg coat, and therefore we couldn't smell the salmon.
oh my God. It just gets worse.
Oh dear.
Because I put it on Instagram. I didn't actually put it on Instagram. I put it blocked, censored, redacted on Instagram. And I said, look, if you must see this, DM me and I'll send you, you filthy little gremlin, I'll send you a picture. Because I was not going to jump scare people's feed with gross shit because I hate when people do that. Looking at you.
Well, this is a classic. There are two types of people.
Yeah, one's considerate and one's not.
No, shut up. You can do a quick tap by.
You have put violent injuries into stories before.
I think it's fine. I have. It's true. With
violent.
Yeah.
Open wounds. Upset people.
very jump scary. It's true. I learnt the hard way. Okay.
Why did you get complaints?
No. Yes, definitely. Whoa. But this is what. Continuing on from last week's chat, this is what is so cooked about the internet.
Yeah, for every person who's like, how could you? There's people who are like, show us.
Revz, I shared content of fresh prawns being cooked on a barbie, and someone was like, could have done with a trigger warning. And I was like, oh, fucking, I give up. I'm not going to trigger warning food.
Prawns.
Well, yes.
Yeah. I will say, I find spearfishing content confronting.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Even some just fishing content, I'm like, oh, that's a maimed living creature. I would never be triggered by prawns on a barbie. I'm like, at that point, it's food. And I'm a full meat eater. I eat meat, so I'm full of shit. I'm no vegan. But I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to see a living things like guts and dismembered.
Okay,
you know, I'm like that. I know it's a sport and stuff, but I'm like, I'm not into it.
Yeah, it's like how people hunt deer or whatever
No,
in the wild.
no.
Like you don't want to see it.
Well, I think it's because I'm a diver, but like I see fish just as much as you would see like a glorious lion
yeah.
in a park. I mean, I know that we eat them, so it's slightly different. You
See,
don't eat a lion.
I actually look at hunting, and I mean sustainable hunting.
Yeah,
with
of course.
Sort of awe, because I look at it as, wow, it's like farm to table. Like how
Yeah.
good that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are hunting for your own food and you're freezing it. Like it just feels very full circle in the best way.
Agree.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's confronting seeing
Especially when
an
people
animal.
are throwing them back too. I'm like, oh, I
there's-
know.
They're trauma. Like there's a degree of
You've
trauma
maimed
going
a
on.
creature and now you're tossing it back to fend for itself. Like I'd rather you eat it.
Yeah, Iggy is really into fishing.
Yeah, Ted.
And
has
I
fishing
find
there.
the suffering, even just a fish out of water with its
know.
gills, like
Yeah.
desperately seeking
It's
air.
not okay.
I know, it's upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. How'd we get there? Curse.
Well, we are all collectively relieved that this curse has lifted.
Oh, it feels good.
And I feel like the positive energy is coming back. Don't you reckon?
Absolutely.
Like, let's. I feel like this is the time to manifest stuff.
Mm.
You know, we're like open. Oh, who is she?
love
But I
it.
feel like open to the universe. Like it's going to deliver some goods for us.
Well, good. It's timed up well because we are about to do this massive tour.
Revz,
Yes.
I was nervous that when your curse bled into the month of May, I was like, okay, we're looking at a 3-month deal. Watch out, June. And then I was like, fuck, like this cannot go into tour. Hitting the
No.
road. No, we're
know.
good. We're good now.
We're good. We're good. It's all good. We're feeling great. I 100% credit Mickey Fisher for giving me the insight and the blocking power.
Yes, especially the idea about the energy output versus the input of energy, or what you're choosing to absorb
100%.
versus what you become boundaried about. I think
Love
that's
it.
really good.
And
and
also
also
can use it everywhere across life, right?
100p. And this idea of like rejecting the curse, DLs, you won't know this, but around the office, curse chat would come up and we'd be like, I reject you.
Reject.
Reject.
Like the Power Ranger.
Yeah, she's back.
Anyway, it's very good. And I have to update you as well because I get asked all the time. I've now become my decisive self again. I've booked in my birthday.
She's back.
I had a full epiphany on the same day the curse lifted. I was like, no, I know exactly what I want to do for my birthday. I'm not having a blowout party. I am having a lunch with transport to Party Town. None of it will be in my home. I don't have to do anything for it.
Quite relieved about that, by the way.
It's so exciting.
You don't have time for that level of admin.
Well, what I couldn't say when I last talked about the party that was overwhelming me was because it's just before we go into rehearsals. Jem and I are never fucking busier. It's fine to like have a birthday, but I can't take 2 weeks off and just like marinate in turning 40 when the week after we go into rehearsals and then we're on tour 4 weeks later.
Yeah, there's no festival of the Revz.
There just isn't. And I wouldn't want to.
I mean, in terms of the timing
yeah,
with the show.
exactly.
If you were born outside of that 5-month period, sure.
100%. So that was stressing me as well. I'm like, if I'm going to throw a blowout, I'm going to need a week around it to like plan for it, set it up, and then decompress. And it just wasn't going to happen. So anyway, I've booked an amazing place for lunch. I'm going to have 40 friends to take me into my 40s. And I've said no gifts. All I want is words of affirmation.
It's true.
And everyone's taking it very seriously, which is making me feel very loved.
It's going to be Speechville.
Speechville.
People are going to be fighting to make a speech.
I love it. It's so fun. So all I need to do is dress myself and turn up. And I just think that is so what I need this year. And yeah, it's all perfect. So I'm excited. I've got something to look forward to, but it takes no energy from me. Americano's being amazing. He's like doing all the admin around it. Just got to find a cake, even though I shat on cake last week. I do want a birthday cake. All I've got to do is find a cake, book a photographer.
Oh, she's going to book a photographer.
Just an hour.
I love that.
Because again, I don't want jobs. And I don't want to be like, I've got to get content.
Do you know what? We got a photographer for Hubs' 40th.
Yeah, it was great.
It was so worth it. And especially because we didn't know back then in February that we would be moving house.
Oh, now you've got all
like
these
a couple
photos
of
your
months.
home.
Yes, and it's really special to have that.
Yeah.
So highly recommend, and I'm glad that you've already considered that because that is a great idea.
I'm just trying to alleviate jobs. You know, I'm not having flowers. I've decided not to have any flowers because I'm like, because then I have to pick them up and take them and
Yeah,
don't
and
need
then
it.
you end up like palming them off to people at the end. Hey, do you want flowers
And no
in
one
your
wants
house?
them because we're going to party.
Exactly.
And also, I feel like flowers on the table, they look stunning in a photo, but then you're just moving them to see the person you want to talk to.
Yeah.
So,
Unless you have little posies.
yeah,
But
I'm
I
not
get it.
doing
No, I get it. You're decisive.
All
She's
my
back.
creative energy is going into the show.
Yep.
This is going to be just one day of fun celebration and then we move on, you know?
Just quickly on the photographer front. I agree with you about 1 hour,
1
especially
hour.
for something like a 40th.
Sit down
is
lunch.
Yeah, but also people don't like being photographed while they're trying
eating.
to eat.
Yeah, no.
You know, I remember like in my wedding photography days, you'd get to the reception part and you had to be really strategic about when you shot. And the challenge is that when you're part of the wedding crew, i.e. wedding planner, DJ, musicians, photographers, you get fed last, obviously, because they have to cater to the guests. But it's really tricky because you don't want to shoot people while they're eating.
No.
And then while you're eating, the next thing has happened. Like the MC gets up and announces the next speaker. Ugh, it's just taking me back to my wedding days. So I think it's good to contain it. And do you know what? The arrivals is the best bit. A lot of hugging.
Oh, do you think?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, I was kind of thinking the last bit.
I guess
Because
I
it's
don't
quite
know,
a
people
small
are
space and it's not
fresh.
that many people and it's quite a small space. So I was thinking like the last bit and then cut the cake. Do you know what I mean?
Cake cutting. It's like a wedding.
It's like a wedding. But it's
Yeah.
like
the birthday singing bit.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I think that might be quite nice because I also don't because it's not a party. It's only 40 people and it's a beautiful
40
atrium.
is a lot. I went to a 40th sit down with 20 people. And it felt very intimate,
Yeah.
but it didn't feel like 10 people.
I know, but I also don't want everyone to walk in with a camera in their face either. Do you know?
Totally.
Anyway, whatever. I'm honestly not going to overthink it too much. I actually might just send to Americano, can you book the photographer? Here's who I want, you know?
Great.
Very excited.
Yay.
Really, really pumped. The guest list came very easily to me. It's
Awesome.
all just been really simple. So now that's how I know the curse is lifted. I'm really excited to turn 40. Like could this year be delivering more goodness now that the curse is gone? Listen to me, full 180. You know, we're going to perform at the Opera House.
I know. Well, let's focus on these positives.
We're taking the show overseas.
DLs, in case you missed the news, we're going to London.
We're going to freaking
Like,
London.
And like this just arrived late in the game and we were like, you know what? We're going to lean in full tilt.
Yeah.
We're doing it and we're doing it scared.
Yep.
Because it's a long way to go for a very concentrated amount of time. Like we're literally fly in one day, do a show, next day, fly out. Because we got to make it back in time for the Sydney Opera House. And we happened to have this pocket of time that was perfectly aligned with the theatre becoming available. With
Crazy.
Beautiful. Like I'm going to...
This is how we knew the curse had lifted. Just
Yes.
This, like last Wednesday, this all just fell into place in the most like, oh, wow, there's no barriers. There's no no's. It's all yeses. And we're like, we jump, we build the parachute on the way down.
And a big shout out to Wild Refill,
Yeah.
who are bringing the show to London. Like, what an awesome brand to partner with because Revz and I, we loved and discovered Wild before
Years ago.
Yeah, years ago before they even ever became a sponsor of the show. And so when you get to work with a brand that you've already had a love affair with, like it's pretty special.
It's very cool that what they're doing for the UK DLs. Also, I think very poetic because we do put so much blood, sweat and tears into this show.
We
so
sure do.
At least we have a barrier with our wild deodorant.
The best.
So yeah, show's going international. We're performing at the Sydney Opera House. I get to do everything with my best friend. Like it's just
the best.
It's just I'm so in love with my partner. Like things are just so beautiful in
Things
life.
are coming up Millhouse.
Yeah. Am I Millhouse?
Yes, babe. Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Anyway, just staying in the good energy while it's here because as we know, things turn on a dime all the time. And you were all so sweet to me after last week's episode. So I just want you to not worry about Revzy. Revzy's happy. Revzy is thriving.
She's
We're all
back,
good.
baby.
We're all good.
Firing on all cylinders. She's ready to go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, cylinders, but not sushi rolls. Okay? No more sushi. It's put me off sushi, I tell you what.
Don't you dare. It's my favorite cuisine.
Really?
Yes.
Over Thai?
Ooh.
Come on.
Yeah, it's funny. Like Thai for me doesn't even count as a cuisine because it's my.
That's just food.
Well, it's
Yeah.
my motherland
Yes,
food, you know,
yes.
that for me, Thai food is home. It gives home style cooking, even though I don't cook a thing of Thai food. But yeah, I don't consider it cuisine. So it would go Thai as numero uno, obviously. And then Jap, if we're going to get specific. Then Vietnamese, all Asian. Yeah.
Okay.
Italian gets in there somewhere, but you know, down the
Yes.
pecking order.
So funny. I've got kids divided by continental lines in
I
my
know.
house. Like Teddy, I swear he's Asian. The flavors that he wants Indian and Asian. Well, Asian is Indian Asian? Yes.
Yes.
He wants big Indian Asian flavors all the time.
He's a boy after my heart. This is why we're so connected.
Honestly, he just
And we like to eat pickles as a meal.
well, it's the vinegar, right?
Yeah,
it's
we
that
love
big
it.
bold flavor.
Oh,
Whereas
I'm
Isla
salivating at the thought.
she's Mediterranean. She is Italian. She wants tomato-based everything.
Pasta,
pizza, you know, all the breads, all the focaccias.
Yeah.
It's always a balance.
Always. Look, this is why I love pizza so much. Like you can put tandoori chicken on a pizza. Fucking delish.
Delish.
So good.
Again, not to bring everything back to jaffles, but we are living in borderline recession. You can fill a jaffle with anything and you don't even need that much of it.
Oh my God, Revz. There's this place near us that does the best bolognese jaffle I have ever eaten.
What
and
makes
it
it
was
so good?
cheese.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect that to be a thing.
Oh, with your jaffle, you got to get your ratios right.
But something about the meaty sauce, it was so fucking good. I mean, in America, they call it a sloppy Joe. Didn't we all learn that from the Parent Trap?
But they wouldn't call this a sloppy Joe because it's not sloppy because it's sealed.
Totally. And when it's sealed well and you take that first bite, the whole thing doesn't fall apart. On this note, like, I want to vibe train for a second. Can we talk about hard shell tacos? What is their purpose? Because to
it's
me,
the crunch
they're a
factor.
waste of space. No.
Oh no!
Listen up. Nachos.
Sorry, Mexican DLs.
I hear you. No, I feel like hard shell tacos are a westernized thing.
They're not.
Mexican DLs, correct me if I'm wrong. It's like how Kewpie mayo or mayo in Japanese food is a westernized thing.
Kewpie mayo.
Yes.
Can we fact check that? There is Japanese mayonnaise.
Sure, but it's not in traditional Japanese. There's no mayonnaise that was done for Western cultures. It's like Thai food. There's things that have been bastardized. But anyway, back to the hard shell taco. I don't understand the point of its existence because nachos, you have the triangle corn chip and you dip it and you take a bite. The hard shell taco, one bite and you may as well eat nachos. The whole thing falls apart and then you're picking up little shards of taco to kind of eat the internals, you know?
Internals. Well, tell me you're not a cook without telling me. The internals.
The innards, the guts.
Oh my God. So appetizing.
We've gone back to sushi chat.
I don't know. I feel nostalgic about the Tex-Mex element of the hard shell taco because we never had soft shell tacos as kids growing up. Taco night was only ever those old El Paso stale corn chip folds that were a little bit burnt because Mum had forgotten because she was doing 17 other overstimulating things, and then she was like, "Oh shit, the shells!" And so I feel like there's a comfort in that kind of thing.
Revzy, I too grew up, especially in my teen years, with my mum turning to the El Paso. This is not
Old El
sponsored by
Paso.
Old El Paso taco boxes, not spawn. So it was like we did Taco Tuesday and all that, and I just accepted it as the status quo until I discovered a soft taco.
Yes,
And I was like,
beautiful.
why aren't we
Well,
doing this?
What else though? There's a crunch that you can't
Have nachos. Like, talk to me. You
Well,
keep
nachos-
no,
no.
You keep,
no.
Shut up. You keep omitting nachos like they don't exist. You're hurting their feelings.
Nachos are a big commitment. I don't want a whole plate of nachos. I want a taco.
You can share a platter of nachos.
What if the other person doesn't want one?
like
I can order
lasagna,
one.
you get a spatula, you cut up your nachos, you have a little portion.
No, lasagna keeps. You can't keep nachos.
Sure. But consider how many people make the right amount. This is the thing about nachos. You get to, like, I'm talking like I'm an expert. You get to
your favourite
consider
thing to do.
how many corn chips, how many bits of meat, how much
But
you're
a taco
doing.
is low touch because you make the shells soft and hard. You put them out. You put all the bits, and everyone builds their own. It is our favorite blended family dinner because it's like
It pleases everyone.
it pleases
Yeah.
everyone,
Pleases the masses.
And
I
all
agree.
you have to do is prep little bowls of things, and everyone's so excited about it. They love to,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's giving bento. Like for my kids, I put a
Yes.
little bit of everything.
Whereas
and then,
nachos, big commitment, big prep, and then getting the size right is a whole thing.
do you not agree though, for a minute,
I think I don't.
that when you take that first bite
the best.
and it literally breaks at the spine
I'm gonna say it.
like a dodgy folder. It breaks apart and I'm like,
That's when you go frunk and you go
sorry, frunk.
frunk.
It's an
like
audio
it
platform.
flips over,
Frunk.
and
Yeah.
you've got like a
toast.
toast, a loaded toast.
Okay, sure.
I think you've got to work on your hard shell etiquette.
No,
you've
I've-
got to work on your technique.
No, I banish the hard
Do
shell
what the rest of us do
taco.
and contort your head into a
silly.
full left, a right angle,
Trying to
Contortion.
drip it into your mouth.
and use your teeth for what their purpose is, which is to crunch.
Fucking nightmare.
Okay,
That's all I gotta say.
you know what? No one's forcing you to have a hard shell taco.
No, I'm mad at myself for following tradition with what I grew up with hard shell. And then I'm like, no, from now on, soft shell. And also, when you heat up the soft,
Glorious.
Oh.
And also, you can crush up some tortillas, sprinkle over for that crunch element in your soft shell
of
taco.
course you can. Best of both worlds. We've solved it.
Look, Peters, blah, blah, blah.
Whatever that means.
I'm really bad at.
Let's not offend anyone.
I'm not going to pretend that
Yeah.
I speak Mexican
No, you-
or that I speak
Spanish.
Old El Paso.
Spanish. Yeah.
Spanish.
It's okay. Don't cancel us. Speaking of cooking, do you know what I don't have time for?
What? Don't you have time for?
I don't have time for previous gem.
Mm.
Not being able to cook. And this is so relevant to what we're talking about because, confession, I'm scared to say this out loud because it kind of means that the DLs are going to hold me accountable. But then I think it's important to say it out loud. OG DLs will remember years ago, my New Year's resolution was always, this is the year I'm going to learn to cook. And then after that first failing, I was like, well, I'm never going to make that my New Year's declaration ever again. And then in previous years, I made a point of saying, I'm not going to make a resolution around cooking.
In fact, you parked it for your 50s.
I did. I pushed it out. I just kept pushing the timeline out. And I used my mum as an excuse because she didn't learn to cook until I was 11 and Rafa's 7. And I'm like, okay, if I follow that trajectory, I've got a few years up my sleeve. But the guilt.
And you also do complain often that you never saw her cooking and like it wasn't part of your life. You know?
Yes. And I don't want to do that to Raf.
Yeah.
This is the thing. And she has an interest in cooking.
Oh.
Like every time Yai comes over.
Wow, that's
or,
cool.
Yes, or my mother-in-law comes over and does baking, like her eyes light up, like
Yeah.
she's very into it. And I'm like, fuck, I'm not like giving her this. And also, you know, my guilt's around not giving my kids the gift of language. I think about this in my night thoughts all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
It occupies my brain more than I'm willing to admit because I digress for a second. I've got a friend who married a French guy. all 3 of their kids are fluent in French. And I'm like, wow, he did that. He committed to that. And I failed. Basically, he's a mirror to my own failings. It's my shadow
Jesus
work.
Christ, okay.
I'm working through it.
Low key for a Tuesday.
Spiraling.
It's a mirror to my failings. I feel like we need that on a t-shirt for Jem. So you never gave them the bilingual life.
But I want to give them the joy of cooking Thai food.
Yes.
Or any food.
Or any
Let's
food.
set the bar low.
Let's start with toast.
Yes, I feel like Thai food is quite complex in terms of its... Nope.
Nope.
No, it's not.
Don't mind fuck yourself, Jem.
Okay, it's
just-
basic.
It's not basic.
It's just
for
ingredients.
If you don't know, it's just, this is the thing about cooking. If you could allow me to talk to you about cooking like you talk to me about finances, it's not this magical mystical thing that you can't, like, it's just steps.
I know.
And there's facts and there's ways to do things. And yes, there's definitely a bit of intuition as you want to do more and more.
Okay.
Or if you want to make things up from scratch or
Whoa.
yeah, but you'll get there.
No, I don't think I'll ever get there.
You will.
Okay, maybe.
You will. You
Okay.
will. Because you'll see when you start.
Yes.
It's
There's a pattern.
Yeah.
Because
there's
I
steps.
haven't unlocked any patterns. Like, you know, some people are like, I open up my pantry and I just know what goes together. I'm like, how do you know? And it's because I've been so afraid of the kitchen.
You've got no building blocks.
None whatsoever. I don't even have knife skills. Like, ask me to cut a capsicum.
No.
I'm doing it wrong.
Wait. Pause.
Why?
That's not knife skills. Knife skills is like what chefs have.
No,
What are you talking about? You don't know how to cut a capsicum.
that is knife skills. Learning to cut anything is called okay, fun fact. My parents got me a knife skills course.
This is all your trauma. Everything's too Olympic. You don't need a knife skills course. You need to cut a fucking capsicum in your kitchen.
I don't know how. And
Yeah, because you just have to do it. You're like, I need to do a 6-week course and train. And if it can't be perfect, I can't start.
This is my problem.
And I need to put all these things away. I need a clear bench. I need a clear day. And then I'll cut a capsicum.
Well, I won't say what I was about to say then.
Go on.
All right,
They
I will.
got you a course. a
No,
knife
it's not
skills
about that.
course.
Anyway, it expired because of COVID. Anyway, I didn't get round to it, and it's too late. Such a waste of money. I'm so sorry, Mum, if you're listening to this. I never did that knife skills course. Anyway, what I was gonna say was I feel this changing of the guard or turning the page on a new chapter, so to speak, because I've moved house.
Yes.
And I've got this not new, but a change of kitchen.
Yes.
And I'm trying to
Set new habits.
well, yes, but I'm also trying to use the enthusiasm of a new kitchen to motivate me to set new habits and just not be scared of my kitchen. I feel like in my old house, because I gave birth to Iggy there and I just reheated meals that were given to me because I was in the newborn era, which is, it's what
I
you
totally
do to
get
survive.
this.
I was gifted a meal subscription by my mum when I first had a
A
baby.
heat up one.
Yes, a microwave one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is so easy. And I've never been able to get off
To graduate from that.
yes, the train of microwave food. And I just never thought I'd be that family. And I think I'm applying a little bit of healthy pressure on myself to finally learn to cook or reacquaint myself with the kitchen and not be so scared. Because Iggy is starting school next year. And I don't know if you remember, but on my 50 by 50, it's always been a goal. And I made it my 50 by 50 instead of 40 by 40. In my list of things I want to accomplish, it's having family mealtime together. I will say I've noticed my kids' bedtime is pushing out a bit because, as we mentioned previously, with all the school activities,
And they're getting older.
they are. They're going to bed a little bit later.
12-year-olds don't go to bed at 6:30. Like it's got to slowly push
Totally.
out, you know?
Yeah. Iggs, he'll still pass out at 7. That's fine. And Rafa now it's more like 8 o'clock when she goes to bed, which is fine. But with this routine, I've noticed that my sleep hygiene at the moment is so good. I'm sending myself to bed at 8:30.
Oh, lush.
and then putting something on and then falling asleep.
Beautiful.
Like, yes, Iggy will wake me up because he still has
Yeah, but you've got those
bedwetting.
good solid first few hours under your belt.
Yes,
It does help.
It's really helping, and I don't want to lose that. And this is the problem with when we get into rehearsals for the show. I find it really hard to unwind from a day in rehearsals because
And there's always stuff to do.
well, that's
After
it. You're kind
bedtime.
of recapping a day of rehearsal, and then you're thinking about the next day of rehearsal, and you're like, okay, what are we working on tomorrow? Oh, this could be a good idea.
Got lines to learn.
And
things
also
to rewrite.
just like blocking, like, oh, in space, where,
Yeah.
be in space. What wings are we entering? Where are we exiting? All that kind of stuff just floats around your brain. So I'm trying to make the most of this period. But in saying healthy bed routine, we can have dinner early together. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mind
Yeah.
eating with the kids
Yeah.
a bit earlier.
Which is a huge shift, right? Because
Yes.
I remember, it just changes everything. Because I remember the days where I didn't want to eat when my kids ate because it felt like it robbed me of any semblance of a little bit of personal time, because you can't eat breakfast with them. It's too crazy. In fact, I didn't eat breakfast for about 6 years
Yeah.
because there just wasn't time in the day to do it. You can't eat lunch with them because you're on the go and doing things or whatever. And you're usually just like chucking a sandwich at them out a moving car, And then dinner felt like the only meal that I could make for myself and my partner, and we would sit down in front of the TV. It wasn't like a, big social moment, but it was mine.
Yeah.
And I could actually enjoy my food, hot, whatever, and I would never want it until the kids were both in bed. So I remember the shift with like, oh, what if we ate together? Do I lose something? But
Yeah.
then you gain so much.
You do.
But I want to tell you about another thing.
Go on.
Something that I don't think we talk about enough. And it wouldn't work for everyone, but because you're saying Raf has interest, and I bet Iggs would too.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Definitely.
what has surprised me and become so nice is, that end of the day, everyone's ratty, there's so much to do, and you're just rushing from thing to thing to thing. Prepping dinner with the kids is actually like, you can't be on your phone. You can't be taking calls. You can't be listening to a podcast. You can't be, you know what I mean? I mean, I still love to whack a podcast in and prep food sometimes. But generally, if my kids are interested, I always say yes. Teddy likes to chop things.
Great.
So I like sit him at the bench. I give him his little board and a knife, and it's so Montessori. And he's like, what shape are we chopping? How much or whatever? And it's good for their maths. It's
Yeah.
good for their domestic training, like how to be a good domestic partner. They learn what goes into food. You can talk them through ratios or whatever. And then Isla likes to do all the stirring, the pouring in, all that kind of stuff. But you talk to them because once you've given the instruction, okay, so cut that zucchini, or we want to grate that zucchini. Grating's great to give to kids, harder to hurt yourself, or measuring this out or weighing that or whatever. Once you give that instruction, you can chat and their mind is, their hands are doing one thing and then they might open up a little bit more, but it's like a built-in moment of connection
I love that.
in your day with something you have to do anyway. We've got to get dinner ready for the family, but it's actually, for me, it's like a nice breathe out, slow down.
Can I ask, and I know we're getting really basic here, and I apologize if this is really boring. Sorry for existing. But like, do you meal prep for the week? Because I see families on the internet and I'm like, oh, I aspire to be like that. Where they, on a Sunday, I guess they work out what they eat. Because half the battle with dinner time is going, oh, what do I feel
mental
like?
load.
Yes, but that mental load, before you've even started doing, it's like, what are we going to have? I just love the idea of, say, a Taco Tuesday. This is just what we do on Tuesdays.
Yep.
On Friday, we do Indian.
Yep.
Takeout. But like, I don't know. Is that what you do? Like,
Yeah.
talk to me.
So on our kids' week, we prep because there's a lot of us. We have to plan and sort of cater for a lot of different things. When it's just the two of us, or when I'm just by myself, I'll just wing it with whatever we have. When I do prep, it's because it's for finances. So I go, okay, I need to be a bit more budget conscious for this week, so I'm going to meal prep. So then you just save so much money.
Oh,
Because there's no waste. You're thinking about, I often think like, okay, if I make bolognese, then I can do bolognese one night, but then I can make a lasagna 3 nights later. Or I can make a big batch.
Sorry, with the bolognese?
With the bolognese sauce.
Like the leftover?
Yeah. Well, or I'll go, I'm going to make a big batch of bolognese and we'll eat it tonight. Maybe we'll eat it 2 nights. And then I'll freeze in individual portions 3 other nights of bolognese. So that on those nights where I'm like, fuck, I haven't gone to the shop, so I couldn't make it or whatever, which happens all the time, you just literally pull out one, heat up pasta, and you've done it, you know?
I just don't understand why I have so many holes in my domestic education.
Yes, you do.
No,
Yes,
I
you do know
don't.
why. Because you're like, you weren't, when you, in your primary school years, you weren't
Yeah.
in the kitchen with
At
your mum.
all.
At
no,
all.
I wasn't.
So you can't be what you can't see.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Do you know what else was a revelation, which my sister-in-law filled me in on, and I was like, oh, this makes perfect sense. Again, very basic. Many people will eye roll. I don't care. I'm sharing it anyway with the percentage of DLs who are like, fuck, I didn't know that either, Jem. You know a front loading washing machine?
Yeah.
I did not know that you are supposed to soak up the water in the rim door of the washing machine. Otherwise, it just sits there and gets moldy. So no one ever told me that, or I don't understand why there isn't a better system in the invention of the thing. But I went over to my brother and sister-in-law's house, and she was like toweling up, and I was like, oh, mine fills with water too, and then it gets moldy. And then I'm constantly getting mold spray, scrubbing it with a toothbrush and cleaning the rubber. And she's like, well, do you religiously use a towel to mop up the excess water? And I was like, I've never done that. She's like, no, Jem, that's just part of owning a front loading washing machine. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, I was today years old
Yeah.
when I learned that. Meanwhile, I'm just letting it go on and on and on and on and on.
Putting mold spores
Just
in all
mold
your
spore,
clothes.
and then I get mad about it, and then I'm just and then I do a big overhaul clean. That's but I feel like this is my
binge clean.
personality. I binge on everything.
The thing about meal prep that I think you'd really like is you can do it all together. Like if you do it make it part of your Sunday,
yeah.
and then you really.
Sunday.
Well, when would you do it?
Okay. True. All right.
What's wrong with Sunday?
Nothing. It just sounds
No,
like
go on.
work. It just sounds like work.
I find it enjoyable.
Okay. Do you ask for feedback? So I've learned that there are some mums who ask their kids what they want for dinner. I never ask them.
I'll ask if there's a few options. I wouldn't ask open-ended, what do you want for dinner? Because they'll
Okay.
say Thai.
Okay, because I'm so proud of
I
them.
know. But then it's $120, you know?
Yeah, totally. Chat Thai is very good, but also very spenny. But do you ask for their feedback and input? Because for me, that just sounds like a nightmare.
It's not a nightmare if you're like, do you want bolognese or schnitzel?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like, help me decide what I'm pulling out of the fridge.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And the thing about bolognese, or I can teach you all sorts of pasta sauces that are just full of vegetables, and they're so easy because once you make a big batch, that's 3 or 4 meals done, and your kids will love it. And then all you've got to do is boil water and put
Okay,
pasta
I'm
in.
inspired. I've got to ride the coattails of this inspo.
I do-
like
do you
right
know what
now,
else,
especially
Sean?
your energy. I'm into it.
How deep am I allowed to probe here?
Are you gonna psychoanalyze?
No, I'm
me?
not going to psychoanalyze you. I'm just
Okay.
going to tell you what I've noticed about myself.
Okay.
Is that when I do meal prep and I cook myself dinner, even if I'm ordering healthy takeaway, it's still, they put a lot of salt, a lot of sugar, there's a lot of MSG, whatever. When I cook my own food from scratch at home, I sleep better. I wake up without a headache. I can get out of bed easier. Like I've got more vitality. I'm not passing out tired at 3 p.m. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you just feel better.
I know, but
And imagine what the kids must feel like, you know?
Well, my kids are fine. Like they eat broccoli. They love steamed broccoli. I'm so lucky because
same.
they've got such a basic bitch mum. And they literally will eat like chicken schnitzel or like sausages cut up with broccoli, and they
Yum.
ask for more. Like they smash broccoli, and I'm grateful for it. But yeah, I mean, hearing you talk about like an umbrella feeling of like you wake up, you have a headache.
Just more vitality.
No, I get all that, but the problem is it takes one thing to undo all that. Like Iggy waking up a few times a night, you know,
Totally.
so I don't feel those benefits.
Well, I feel like
long term, like I'm not like, oh, this is really working, it's going to motivate me. I might start on that journey of eating better and looking after myself, and I'll feel good for like 24 48 hours, but then it takes one thing to undo me, and then I'm like a corpse, you know, rocking up to work.
because you're waking up or because the food train slips
No,
away.
it's not the food train. I
Right.
mean kids.
Yeah, but that's not going away.
No,
so you
it's
can't
not.
let that be your reason not to.
Yeah, I
Nourish
hear you.
yourself.
No, I hear you.
That's why I think the Sunday meal prep is a discipline worth trying,
Yeah.
because you can plan out the week, you can get all the ingredients, and it's just things like every Sunday I roast 2 pumpkins. I just cut up and roast 2 pumpkins. So I've always got a Tupperware in my fridge of roasted pumpkin. And then when I don't know, I've got whatever, I just toss them in with like rice and baby spinach and a schnitzel. And it's a real meal. It's not just like 2 brown things, you know?
Yeah.
So I always roast 2 pumpkins. I always have, what are the long green onions called? Spring onions?
Yeah.
I always have them in my shop, and I don't have a plan for them, but I just like cut them up on things. I've always got sesame seeds in my pantry. So there's just like a few little things to add to things.
I feel overwhelmed.
Honey, no, it's not overwhelming.
No, it is to me.
It's
The way that just rolls up. I've always got this, and I'll always remember to sprinkle a little bit.
because you've always got hot sauce.
No, I know I've got it all. I have it all.
No, but
I
hot
have
sauce,
everything.
Is hot sauce overwhelming to you?
No.
It's because it's habitual.
Yeah.
You never run out because you know you need it.
Yeah.
You want it on things, so you've always got it. So when you start adding these things into your life,
Yeah.
what's with the sigh?
I'm just tired of myself. Like, we're back here.
No, don't be.
Okay. Do you know what? I need to stop talking about it, and I need to like get my hands in the kitchen and actually do it.
Yeah,
But do you know what? I learn best if someone's just showing
I'll
me.
teach you.
Like, I know
I would
there's
love to teach
like
you.
I know. Yes, we don't have time, Revz.
We'll make it.
Okay, fine.
What if I teach you like a couple of basic family meals
Yeah.
that everyone can like that aren't difficult? Just teach you those, and all you need to do is cook them for like a month on rotation.
Yeah.
And we'll just pick days of the week. You know, we'll go bolognese is on Monday. Tuesday is this. Tacos, whatever. Tacos is fucking easy.
Yes. Well, my kids eat a lot of raw ingredients.
Yeah.
Because I don't cook.
Yeah.
So they.
But I need you to do a mindset shift.
Yeah.
You need to stop thinking of cutting a cucumber as cooking.
I do.
That's got to go.
Okay.
Because then that's like, of course it's overwhelming. It's like, oh, I've got to cut a cucumber.
No, well, I do that because it's like I'm a little bit scared of pots and pans.
Okay, so one
So
pot meal.
See, I'm very comfortable with a chopping board and a knife. This is what I mean by my kids eat a lot of raw ingredients like
Great.
carrots and
So good
cucumber.
for you.
Because that for me it's almost like I've compartmentalized as if I just have to cut it, then that's done. But if I have to, there's something about the heating up of
No,
the
I get
stove.
it. If you don't know what you're doing, and you can fuck meat up really easily.
Yes.
You can.
Yes,
So there's-
thank you.
So there's tricks and things that I can teach you
okay.
that you
DLs, is this really boring?
stop it. Shut up.
No, I'm feeling self-conscious.
No, because I feel with cooking is one of those things. It's like exercise where it's like you can remind yourself what you like about it and what's, how to mix things up and get back into it throughout your whole life. I go
Okay.
through massive phases of like, oh, I can't be bothered. I'm just going to order takeaway or I'm just going to eat eggs or whatever. And then I get into moments where I like really love to prepare food. I said I wouldn't psychoanalyze you, but can I just share something that I learned from my therapist recently that
Go
I
on.
think you'll like?
Okay.
She was telling me about these kind of like when you upgrade yourself a bit, something to remember. She's like, you know that feeling when you pay a bill on time? It puts a brick on your self-confidence wall. It gives you pride.
It's like capability pride.
Yeah, it gives you like adult pride, you know?
Yeah.
She's like, when you put the bins out and you've remembered and you've put them out in time, you feel like it just like bolsters you a little bit and you feel pride
I
about
did
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's like, all these little things stack up. And she was talking about boundaries, when you hold a boundary the first time, it feels bad, but then you get a confidence from it. And then after, if you build that muscle, it builds your confidence. The more meals you prepare, you're going to build a sense of self-esteem. And I feel like you could use that at the moment.
Oh, I definitely could.
I think you could use a few runs on the board of like a bit of self-esteem.
Yeah, I just don't understand why I can do this in other areas of my life. I love that you brought up paying a bill.
Yeah.
Because I'm like the fastest. It's almost like a snap streak. On Snapchat. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, DLs, but the Zoomers are obsessed with snapping each other snaps every day, and they have a snap streak. Like, say if I sent Revz a snap on a Monday, and then she snaps back on a Monday, then Tuesday, and then it's like a game of tennis. But chatting to our beautiful Zoomer au pair, she's like, oh my God, I'm up to 50 whatever days snap streak with so-and-so. I can't forget to snap.
Silicon
and I'm like,
Valley cult.
and I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, yeah, go on.
But
Send
you've got a
snap.
bill streak.
Yes, I have a bill streak where I pay all my bills on time. I pay them as soon as I get them because I know what it's like to have financial fears. Like obviously being an actor, I've lived the feast and famine life. And when I was in season of having no income for months on end and scraping and saving every single dollar and really eating poorly because, you know, I couldn't cook, but then I was like, okay, what's really cheap and affordable? I just promised myself, to give you even more context, when I was 19 years old and I moved to WA and I went to university, I thought that I had my rent set to a direct debit and I didn't. And I was...
I've been there.
Yes. I was months
in arrears.
Yes.
Oh, it's so awful.
And then I got this awful notification that had the sum total of what I owed. And I fell apart over it because I just did not have that money. And it was really stressful. And I had to go on a payment plan. And I was like, I never want to be in this situation ever again. And so with bills, I'm just really on top of it. And yes, it feels good. It
feels great.
And you know what's really cool is like with paying our team, for example, at the podcast, like I love that when I pay everyone's invoices, or I always get the feedback of like, whoa, fastest paid invoice ever. And you know, you talk about that bolstering of your esteem.
Feel pride.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah. So can you imagine if your life was a little video game, the little ding ding, like pride coins.
Well, we know that I have to gamify everything
you're
anyway.
going to earn from preparing simple
Well, I want a
family
snap
meals.
streak, but to do with cooking.
Yeah, I mean,
No?
with you, I'm always
What?
I'm always hesitant to call it a streak because then if you don't do one day,
I've
you'll
fallen
fall
off the
apart
wagon.
and you'll be like, no, I can't do it. Like it doesn't have to be a streak.
Oh, I'm insufferable.
At the moment, you cook 0 meals a week. What if you cooked 3 or
Yeah.
1? 1 meal a week for your family. And you build it up. And I also think you should start filling your feed with food accounts because it's inspo. And it's not inspo to make you feel bad. There are millions of IG accounts that are 1-pot meals, 20-minute meals, quick, cheap meal, family friendly, whatever. And it's like, I follow so much of that stuff and I love it because I go, oh, that's fucking easy. I'm going to do that on Tuesday.
Well, Meghan Markle inspired me with her 1-pan skillet, whatever it
Oh,
was.
yes. That
I
went
was
nuts.
like, oh, that, because she didn't really give the full step by step, but watching her do it, I was like, it's the first thing that I looked at and I went, well, I feel like I could do that. It's all in 1 pan.
There's so many 1-pan. A 1-pan pasta sauce and then you have to boil water for pasta. You could handle that, right?
Sure.
It's 2
We'll give it a
pans.
go. It's 2
Technically
pans.
2 pans.
The one appeals to me more.
Well, there are a lot of 1-pot pasta things where you just pour the dry pasta into this thing and then you simmer it. And
My
cook it
mum
that
has
way.
like a Jamie Oliver salmon 1 baking
Oh, yeah,
tray
so good.
situation
Yeah.
with like veggies around it and just chuck it in. And
so easy.
so easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
This-
actually so easy, babe.
Revz, this chat has gone on for too long. Can we get in the kitchen? Like, can we really make time in our schedule to do this
I
together?
feel like there's a sunk cost benefit for me because I know if you are eating this way, I'm going to get more hours out of you on tour.
Okay, fair.
The last 2 years, I
She
don't
powers down.
say this to shame to me. Babe, I fully appreciate what a mountain this is in your mind. But like cresting 40, as ambitious as you are, you're going to need to fuel yourself to hit your ambitions.
I do. And I want to.
Because at the moment you're like trying to fly a fucking Tesla rocket on fucking third world country, like ethanol fumes. It's not going to work. You're not
No.
going to be able to do 4 shows at the Sydney Opera House on shitty takeaway.
Fucking watch me.
Chum,
Yeah.
you're not. You're going to get sick. You're going to pass out tired.
Whoa. I'm getting defensive now. Who gets sick more than anyone?
No, because when I'm not looking after myself, when I look after myself, I don't.
See, this is the problem. I have had, I'm scared to say this, touch wood, but I
fucking would. Don't say it.
okay, all right, I
Yeah.
won't say it. But you know what I'm thinking?
Yes, I do.
Is like I've been lucky. I don't know how. Like even Show Daddy was like, for someone who really wrecks herself,
No. The quote was, and it's amazing, and I'll never forget it. Because For context, we'd just done the show in, I think it was Brisbane,
Yeah.
and we were on the plane to Adelaide, and we were coming off like, I think the 5th show, heading into like a stint of like really quick succession shows. And Jem had stayed up all night watching the Olympics and gotten like, I don't even know if you got an hour's sleep before we
I
had
reckon I got an hour.
Okay, she got it 60 minutes
Maybe
sleep.
2 hours. Actually, I reckon 2 hours because I
Anyway,
remember it was 3
no, I'm not
a.m.
gonna let you derail
Okay.
my story. She'd had 2 hours sleep, and we were on a flight to another thing. We were going to do a show the next day, and Jem walked on the plane, you know, eating a bag of sour straps or something ridiculous. She's like, I just feel like shit. And show daddy goes, for someone who doesn't drink, she really fucking wrecks herself.
It's true.
I was like, it's the quote of the tour.
So funny, Revs, on the drinking front, because Raf has moved schools and I'm starting to meet new mum friends. People,
Keep asking you out for a drink.
well, I have to divulge to them quite early on in the piece because they make a wine joke with me.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very
Come for a play date. We can open a bottle of wine.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
Let's
like,
take
"You
the edge
can."
off together. Yeah, I know. And I'm very self-conscious to say, oh, I actually don't drink because then I think immediately they're like, oh, and then will write me off. And then I always have to kind of back it up with
Well,
like,
they might actually. I wouldn't be telling them. I'd be just turning up for the wine,
Well,
but bring something.
okay, I'll be honest, I haven't mentioned it.
Okay.
Like normally it's the 3rd or 4th meetup that I'm like, oh, actually I don't drink. Anyway, I've got to that point where I, mentioned it to someone quite recently on a weekend and they were like, can you tell me why don't you drink? And then I sort of shared and they're like, wow, good for you. And then they look to me like I'm inspo and then want to know more. And I feel like a fraud and I never
Oh.
lie about it, but I'm always like, no, it's not an achievement for me. I just need to let you know
You didn't
that
have to quit alcohol.
yes,
Yeah.
it's not effort. I'm not trying. I just have really underdeveloped taste buds and I legit
Again,
don't
like you missed the kitchen domestic part of life, you kind of missed the alcohol palate part of early 20s.
Well, I think it might be an Asian heritage thing because
Oh.
because alcohol and Asians generally don't go well together. And look, I'm grossly generalizing, but this is definitely evident on the Thai side of my family. Like my dad's not a particularly big drinker. My brother isn't. I'm not. My cousins aren't
Yeah.
particularly. Like I didn't grow up in Thailand around heaps of
I mean,
drinking.
it's quite toxic, but it's so Australian to drink so
yeah,
much.
massively
Yeah.
ingrained in the Australian culture. And I learnt that really quickly when I moved to Australia. And then, of course, in our teen years when we started experimenting and you want to fit in, kind of like when you start taking up smoking.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is awful, but I'm just going to persist because everyone else seems to think it's cool. And next minute you're rolling your own durries to save on cash. Like that was me and Revz.
Yeah.
And same with alcohol where I was like, this is awful, but everyone around me seems to dig it. And so I started shooting tequila because it was over and done with. And I loved the salt and lime. That was my favorite part. But that was my way of feeling socially part of that culture. Now as an adult, especially a 39-year-old, and for the last 10 years, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, no. And so 10 years ago, I went, Jem, know thyself. Be true to you. You don't like alcohol. Who are you doing it for? Like fucking, it's time to adult and really like get introspective about this and do what serves you. And alcohol was one of those things that I was like, I'm chalking that off straight away. And again, it takes practice. And you talked last week, Revz, about how you write these narratives about yourself. I have written this narrative that I just can't cook and the kitchen is not for me.
Yep.
And I don't know how to rewrite the story yet, but I want to.
Yeah. I think you just do it one meal at a
Yeah,
time.
I think so. And
Yeah.
sometimes I think when I have these big declarations, like even on this episode, and the reason why I'm sweating and not feeling good about it is I'm like, oh, am I just going to
Fail again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's not a failure. And that's why I don't want you to think about, you don't have to go Martha Stewart with this. Like, none of us are cooking 7 nights a week. None of us. Like, even those of us who love cooking and who did get the upbringing and who, I count myself as one of those people. I love it. I love doing a grocery shop. Like, I really enjoy the whole end-to-end thing. I'm not cooking 7 nights a week. There's still 2 or 3 nights a week where I go cereal for dinner, Jaffles, toast, eggs, takeaway. Like, because you don't have to do it that way. It's just about like doing some of it, you know, and then you just build up, and then some weeks you'll cook every night and some you'll cook none. And
Whoa.
I just don't want you to think of it as like, if I don't do it perfectly, I shouldn't even try.
Yeah.
Because that is so your brain and so your perfectionism.
Yeah.
And it's just time to pop that bubble a little bit. Like,
Okay, I've done a thing like buying new activewear to kickstart back into your exercise routine. I've bought some new kitchen stuff.
great.
Yes.
What did you get?
Or just some like fresh pans
Yeah,
and
nice.
things like that. Like I just
Do you have a good sharp knife?
yes.
Yeah, 'cause that's really important.
Fresh knives.
Do you have a good chopping board?
No, but I need to get
You
some.
need,
And
like,
also, what kind of chopping
A
boards?
wooden one and a heavy
Okay,
one.
I don't know, because my mum, funnily enough, she called me up the other day and she was like, you know what, I'm really sick of my wooden chopping boards because they're too heavy, but I don't want plastic chopping boards because I have plastic chopping boards.
Yeah.
And then mum started talking about microplastics and I was like, okay. And she's like, I need to find bamboo
Oh.
chopping boards. And I was like, oh, okay. And now, because we had that one conversation over the phone, now I'm just
It's being
getting
served.
fed ads for like chopping
I
boards.
like a heavy wooden one because you don't want things slipping around.
Okay.
Like, you need it to just be solid.
Question, you can't put it in the washing machine, can you?
I don't though. Like, it's very, you just
You just hand wash it in
hand
the
wash
sink.
it and put it back up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the aesthetic of a heavy wooden one.
Yep.
You're laughing, but I do.
Yep. Well, it is the healthiest, easiest
Yeah,
way.
okay.
Yeah. You do
Anyway.
have to clean it.
It's okay. This is the new me.
Yeah.
I need to be okay with the fact that cooking in a kitchen makes mess.
Yeah. But takeaway makes mess.
Yeah, but it's like,
Just because you don't you get sick of all the plastic things building up in the Uber Eats bags and all that stuff? Like, it
100p,
makes
but
just
I-
as much mess.
no, I know, but I just put it back in the bag it arrived in.
Yeah.
So it feels easy.
Yeah.
End
but
to
it's
end.
actually exactly the same.
It is.
Yeah.
I know. Okay.
Here's
All
some
right.
things I want you to have: a good wooden chopping board, a sharp knife, a little countertop bin.
I've got one of those.
Wonderful.
I've got one inbuilt in my
Oh.
kitchen island,
Oh my
Revz.
God, glorious.
Yes, what a glow up.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
So that will really help.
Uh-huh.
I would also recommend for you getting a stand for your phone if you have a recipe,
Yeah.
because you're going to need recipes for a while.
Yeah. Oh,
You're not going to go,
I'm not going solo.
yeah, you're not going
not-
like off script
no.
anytime
Hell
soon.
no.
And so it can be quite overstimulating to keep opening your phone and you know what I mean?
Okay,
so maybe
so-
just get a little stand, you can get them like they stand on your countertop where you can turn your phone on,
Yeah.
and just like have the recipe there.
I have a stand
Okay.
for my phone. I make content.
No, I know,
so-
but you want one that's just like, it's not about making content, because I know you. If you click your phone
yeah.
into a content stand, you'll
Yeah.
start being like, let's make a reel. And then you're fucked, babe. You need to focus just on cooking. Get a little, like what you would put a recipe book on, but for your phone.
Okay.
Or maybe we get you some recipe books. No, because it's far less overstimulating. Trust me, it's nothing more annoying than you're following a recipe and then your mum calls and then you get a text from work and then you've got an email popping in and you're like, where's my meat?
The phone is honestly the worst thing for my ADHD.
Yeah.
Like I cannot begin to tell you. So Revz and I, we have desk days on a Monday and producer Kate sends us a list of our to-dos. And then I go, okay, like at the start of every Monday, I'm like, I'm going to fucking smash through this to-do list. And one thing might be finish editing a reel. For example, this is my pain point at the moment, is I find it really hard to finish a task without interruption, external interruptions, and then me getting pulled in a direction of something else. It's not even shiny object syndrome. Like
It's just
not-
other things that need to be
it's
done.
just other things that
Yeah.
need to be. And then I'm like out of the flow of the thing I was doing. And
So
then
you need to put do not disturb for an hour or whatever.
yeah,
on your
maybe
phone.
that's the reminder that I need. But the problem is like we've got comms going all the time with the pod, as we should. We've got a lot of moving parts going on. So I understand that. But I'm just like, I don't know how to discipline my brain into going, it's okay, Jem, that was just a little distraction. You just had to quickly send off that email or quickly pay off that bill. Just come back to the task and get back in the flow of where you were at. That's what I'm finding really hard, is I'm just like feeling pulled in directions. And then I've done a little bit of everything really badly. And that's when I spiral and fall apart.
100%.
And I think with cooking, because it is a linear process, it takes so little
Yeah, to take your attention.
to take me, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now that's burning and fuck, you
Yeah.
know, that's my problem. Whereas a microwavable meal,
Yeah. You can't fuck it up.
well, no, it just
Yeah.
it beeps
I mean,
at
you
the
can,
end.
but
No, fuck off. No, I've got that down to a fine art. Thank you very much. I can even tell you the difference between the heat strength of the microwave at the office versus the heat strength at the microwave of my house.
I don't think that's something to be proud of.
No, I am proud. Because there's a difference. It's subtle and it's nuanced, but I know the difference in
My
time.
darling.
Yes.
You are too old to
No,
go
I
in
feel
this
shamed.
excuse loop with yourself now. You know you have ADHD. You know it's bad at the moment because you've moved house
Yeah.
and you're super busy at work.
Peaking.
Yeah. You know all these things.
Yeah.
So you've got to adult now. Like
Yeah.
you've got to put your phone on Do Not Disturb when you have a task to do or make a list or whatever. Otherwise, you're just going in this shame spiral of like, oh, I can't do anything. You can.
Yes, that's how I feel.
Yeah. So it's just time to parent yourself.
okay.
Like you just have to now.
Yes. I know. No, I know. I know these things. But it takes having a spiral day or a spiral week.
Does it?
Yes, to have this realization, and then I put things in place, but then, you know, it's life.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing. Like, I'm so contradictory in so many ways because the thing that I love about my job is the variety. And the thing that feels like death to me is
Variety.
well, yes. Well, no, it's so hard to explain. Like things that are menial tasks, repetitive tasks kill me. Like anything that's boring just makes me want to scream. Like it's completely suffocating. So I love the variety of our job. It's my favorite thing. But then to contradict myself, I also thrive in habit and routine and systems.
Yes. To challenge that,
Yeah.
you are great with paying bills. That is a menial, boring, habitual, regular task.
But it's over quickly.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I can pay a bill in seconds. I can copy an invoice number. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh God, but that's just how your brain sees it. Because takes me time. I gotta sit down, I gotta find the invoice number. Like I can tell the opposite story.
Yeah,
It's the
well,
same task.
okay.
You know?
It's because it's so practiced.
Yeah,
And this is the thing
that's
with
it.
cooking. It's not practiced. And I do think maybe because I've never worked in an office, I've always followed my own systems in life. And then I realized, oh, that's right. I was an actor for so many years and then I was a photographer. Like these are very niched and specific skill sets and deliverables in life that suddenly anything outside of that, I'm like, I don't have the most efficient way.
Yeah.
I can do the most efficient thing as an actor or a performer. And this is why Revz and I love touring live shows because we went to university for this shit. So for some people, the idea of mounting a show is like overwhelming and how many skills do we have to learn? Whereas for us, we speak that language. We're fluent in it. So everything feels achievable. It's not saying it's not a lot of work. It's not fucking hard, but we can see the end in sight. We know the steps that we need to take to get there. That's doable. But everything else feels like outside of my skill set or my practice life doesn't feel efficient and easy. It feels hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Is what I'm trying to say. And cooking falls into that.
Yeah. But you can build it up. You
Yeah.
can. And you'll just feel so good about yourself. I'm like excited for you. But you know, it's not going to be a linear path. It's not going to be easy to start with.
Yeah.
You just have to start. That's
Yeah,
what
I
you
know.
would say to anyone you were coaching on anything creative. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to start.
Yeah.
You know, so that you have to kind of coach yourself.
Yeah, but how good is creativity?
Babe, cooking is one of the most creative things you can
I
do.
wish I saw it that way.
You
Yeah.
will. But when you start, you know.
Okay.
DLs, we're going to get a cooking.
Yeah. I'm on a mission.
Hit me with your Notspons.
Have I got a Notspons for you? The reason why this is top of mind for me, in case you missed it, I moved house. But I've been purchasing some new rugs because we've got different spaces and it's funny, like rug size, the rug ratio to the size of your room. It's a really important
It's a whole
balance.
thing.
It is a whole thing. And so I've replaced some of our rugs with new ones and I buy all my rugs from Miss Amara.
Oh, same.
They're so good.
good.
Revs, I feel like, did you do SponCon on this once recently? No, I can't remember.
No.
Anyway, so then I was like, does this count? Because Revs,
No.
someone going to come for us. But anyway, I'm a huge fan of Miss Amara. And I was telling someone about it recently. They were asking me, hey, where do you get your rugs? And I was like, oh, Miss Amara. And it blew my mind that they hadn't heard of it.
It's really affordable.
And I was like, wait, whoa. Okay, let me like open up a portal for you because
every style.
it's so well priced.
Yeah.
But also the range.
And the sizes.
Now, this might overwhelm some people because maybe there's too much choice.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But-
but you can filter on the website.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
to
can
what
filter
want.
it by color.
Yep.
And also for me, I was looking for a very particular size, like 4x3 size rugs are quite hard to come by. Miss Amara has a whole category of
If you
those
have
rugs.
pets, I cannot
Oh.
recommend their pet-friendly range enough.
Oh, you could filter pet-friendly rugs.
And they're machine washable, but they're not shit. Like
Yeah.
Isla and Teddy both have a Miss Amara machine washable rug in their bedrooms. And because Buster will like run in there and jump all over and then they get dirty or whatever. But they're so soft and lovely and it makes their rooms really nice. But they literally just go in the washing machine once a month.
Yeah, it's so good.
And then the whole room feels really fresh.
Honestly, DL's like I've had Yo Cabba for 2.5 years now as a running Airbnb, and I have a cream rug in the living
in
room.
an Airbnb, that is brave.
Very brave, but I was sold on the machine washable perk of this particular rug from Miss Amara, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to risk it. If it doesn't work out, I'll replace it with a jute rug. Anyway, it has fully survived, and every time it gets washed, I will say it's a big rug, so it has to go in an industrial size washing machine. It comes up like new.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
They're legit.
Anyway, that's my Notspons in case you're in the market for a rug. This is my hyper focus at
They
the moment.
always have codes and sales and things as well. So
Well,
keep an eye out.
I mean, I just did a haul and bought 4 rugs and they were 40% off.
Amazing. And they
So
come quick
good.
too.
Yes. Hear me with your Notspon.
My Notspon is a follow.
Oh, it's been a while since you've done one of these.
Well, with all the rain lately, I had to look out for some inspo. What do I do with my children on the weekend when it's pouring? Follow if you're okay. This is very Sydney focused. I apologize, everyone else, just tune out. But I'm sure there's one in your town. One Sydney mum. She does just like really good kid outings for all ages of kids. She lets you know when things are coming up. Actually, in the Facebook group, let me know like the Perth one or the Melbourne one or the Adelaide one because I know there are lots of these accounts in every city. But One Sydney Mum is just great. Even if you're not in Sydney, it gives you day ideas. Like what you can go do for the day, you know?
Oh my God, this is amazing. I'm just scrolling her page now and she's titled her reels really well. It's like 9 of the best playgrounds in Sydney.
Yeah.
The best beaches in Sydney for young families.
Yeah.
Best places to park at the Vivid Sydney Festival.
It's really
So
good.
clever.
It's like a free resource.
Okay, she gets my follow.
Yeah, she's very, very cool. So follow her. Link in the show notes.
Hot tip, Revz. Love it.
All right, deals, that is a long one from us today. Don't forget to grab your tickets if you can to the live show and your merch if you can. We are so excited. It's going to be here before we know it.
Counting down the literal weeks now
Yes.
before we get into rehearsal. Revz and I are actually in filming week next week. For DLs who have been to our shows previously, you will know what we're talking about. Wink, wink. If you've never been to one of our shows, boy, you are in for a treat.
Yeah, it's not just 2 people on a stage. We have a whole world that we bring to these theatres and we are filming a lot of pretty epic shit for this one. I mean, we're working with a band. We've got some of your old favourites. We've got, some really funny and some really special things. So we can't wait to share it with you. We don't have time for this.com.
And as always, we'll be back in your ears bright and early on Friday with the Bestie Hotline.
Bye.
We love you.